when multiple twisters tore through several communities, including the Nashville area Saturday evening. I'm Chris Coraggio, NBC News Radio.
You're listening to KCAA Loma Linda at 106.5 FM, K293CF Moreno Valley.
All right, good evening. Welcome to the Farron Dozier Show on KCAA Radio 106.5 FM, 1050 AM. Also streaming from the KCAAradio.com website. It's Sunday night. We got to get the show started. Are we ready? When I was in my mother's womb, I had a calling on my life to do something in the glory of God and marry it like a wife. Commit myself to his word and never be led astray. And when it's all over, when he comes, I'll be glad to see that day in the morning time. Joe was waiting for that right there. That was my Grandmaster Flash and the Furious 5. Hilarious. The message, right? That is the message too, yo. That's my prayer right there, y'all. That's my prayer given to me at 16 years old, man.
The vibe,
16 years old, man. The Holy Spirit gave me that. I've received the Holy Spirit at 16, man, and that was my personal prayer, man. I had no idea. So, 30-something years later, the revelation came back. It was like, that's your personal prayer right there? I'm like, for real? They're like, yeah, you better use that.
Yeah.
So when I started doing research on it and stuff, and, it came to me like that's my story. Like, in my mother's womb, I had a calling on my life, and that sickle cell trait, all this emotional intelligence is in my mother's womb. So we're all born for a reason. If you really believe that, a lot of people walk around trying to answer that question inside of them, that spirit being questions you, like, why am I here? Why was I born? What am I why? Well, you need to start listening to that. Listen to that and figure out why you were born, because we're all born for a reason. So shouts out, man, to the Possibilities Loma Linda. Man, I just came from there. Loma Linda Possibilities Christmas dinner. Sat there with Jody and his daughters. They said like 800 people there tonight. It's great to see, people living with disabilities, man.
Yeah.
Still,
strong
families.
Yeah.
Like, I'm talking about all levels of disabilities, from born with afflictions, with the illnesses, and everything. So
yes, it's so rude.
So
just like a Niner fan.
Just like a Niner fan. So we're
like
gonna
a Niner
play
fan.
the public service announcement by Call Me Go, our sponsor. As you see, Mr. Rude is here. So
I'm here.
In the morning time.
Damn right, Mr. What?
We'll
What
come
did
back.
you just call me?
Yeah, you heard what I said. Turn his mic off. Wow. We'll be right back on the Farron Dozier Show on KCA Radio 106.5. Peace.
Some of us still carry the burden of battle. It threatens to drown us in our everyday lives. In battle, we had our weapons and combat gear to keep us safe, to keep us confident. But when we returned home, we were not armed with weapons and gear to cope with our own minds. I was lucky to find my combat gear, my mental weapon, and it's called Calmago. Calmago is a drug-free device that allows you to achieve calm in less than 3 minutes in moments of anxiety, stress, anger, panic, or insomnia, not with medication, but rather by activating the parasympathetic nervous system through breathing regulation and multisensory stimulation. A recent study has shown that Calmago decreases PTSD and anxiety levels in veterans, helping those who are suffering and having a long-lasting effect. Visit Calmago.com to learn how you can get Calmago through the VA or with a special veterans discount code.
All right, welcome back to the Farron Dozier Show on KCA Radio 106.5 FM. Today I spoke about the right and the wrong way to love somebody.
Oh, okay.
You hear that? You hear that?
I see what mood you trying to say.
All right, let's go.
Yeah.
That's it. That's good enough.
So let me ask you a question.
No, you don't
about
get to
this
ask no
mood.
questions yet. No,
Oh, okay.
you don't get to ask no
Yeah.
questions yet. This
Yeah.
is my
Yeah.
time right here. So you
Hey,
can
I
answer.
just wanted to see. I just wanted
You
to see.
can answer, but you can't ask no questions.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah, this is
You see this?
one-way direction. So check it out. So
Sassy today.
I spoke.
That is spicy.
I used that right there because I wanted to grab your attention, and it worked. So this morning I spoke to the youth and the parents about the experience of right and wrong.
Yeah.
Right? And not of how we do people wrong, but how we make people wrong.
Yeah.
right? And so who are we to judge a person of a right or wrong? Right. So I wanted to find out from y'all, you know, in your mindset, in your thought process, how do you prevent yourself from judging people based off of either it's an attitude or what they've done? Like, how do you deal with that? Because it's easily to give our opinion about people and their behaviors, and we don't really know what's going on in the background of their life, right?
Right.
So now, Rob, So now you can engage.
I can speak now?
Yeah, I don't want you to shift my conversation to some Marvin Gaye sexual healing talks.
He definitely was going there.
He definitely was going there. I know.
He was in the mood.
He was.
Come on, man. You know it's right with Keith Swift, though, right?
I know.
Just say it.
I know.
So
that's why I played it.
This is why he's a bad guy because he's using that song, which me and you play. We have one thing in mind. But he gonna try to preach that to the choir. Boy, he a cold dude, man.
Got your attention.
I got your attention. He does that on purpose.
That was a different approach.
Yeah,
that was a different approach.
Hey, that's the post-COVID dinking. Move. That's what that was.
I'm with you.
Exactly.
I got you.
It's hard to judge people you don't know. It's simple as that. I mean, like you said, you know, you got people that kind of put on a front, or you just don't understand them. Yeah. Like, you don't know how they're how they're shaped. Yeah. You don't know what they got going on that day.
Yeah.
So it's really kind of hard to really judge people. I mean, when you're younger, you're like, oh, this fool think he hard.
Yeah.
Think I want to test this jaw.
Yeah.
You know, but. You know, why is this dude acting this way?
Right.
Maybe he has all this trauma that this is how he projects to the world, maybe type of thing.
Yeah.
You know, maybe this dude came home with his mama with a needle in her arm.
Who knows?
You don't know.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So it's just one of those things where, you know, you're young, you don't have that perspective you have as an older man.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So that's hard to kind of, you know, judge people without knowing them. So you don't, as a grown man, you don't do it.
Yeah.
You know, but as a grown man, do you also take the time to actually know somebody like that?
Not
that
usually.
part.
Yeah.
Right,
Usually.
right,
Coach?
Right. Man, you know, it's the world we live in, right? And, you know, judgment is always being passed, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's just like a natural thing in people, you know what I mean? And hey, I don't even all the way down to just something simple like, hey, I don't understand why you did that, or I don't understand why they done that, right? Everyone places this kind of like false expectation on the next person to assume they understand how to deal with them, right?
Yeah.
It takes time to learn how to actually deal with someone, right?
Yeah.
So in the process of that, because maybe we only have one opportunity to pass. How am I actually supposed to judge you then, right? I can only judge you based on the moment that we just had, right? Or not had, right? I just may have saw you pick up some fruit in the store and eat it, and you shouldn't have. And I'm thinking, you know, people like, you know, you get what I mean? Like,
for sure.
You see the small perspective, right? And so, you know, my perspective is to try not to judge people, but even myself, I'm a victim of maybe passing judgment when I shouldn't have, because I just got the wrong perception and I couldn't help it but in the moment, right? But overall, as a grown man, like you said, Rob, you definitely should not, you know, pass judgment on people, because you just want people to reflect on you the way, you know, the good part of us all, right, reflects that we just want people to respect us. We want to laugh, we want to be happy, we want to be appreciated. And I think that's man and woman, that we all just want that. And then when we kind of get away from those things, that's when people start to really pass judgment on your character based on how you treated them.
And so what I shared with the youth was, a lot of times our beliefs start from our home. The first two most important people in our life is our parents. And sometimes our parents do disappoint us, you know, or we feel abandoned or left alone, or there's something wrong with me, or I don't belong here, I don't fit in. And that starts that disconnection. And then those filters that you add on at that young age, as Rob talked about perception, now you're filtering everybody through that same filter of how you filter your dad and your mom. And then to me, that's where the core of that starts. And then, like Rob said, then we pretend like everything's cool. But I'm really judging you.
Truthful.
I'm really judging you based of not you, but from my past and how my mom was and how I view my dad. And I believe that stuff gets in the way, and it starts to separate us as people. But then I'm gonna ask y'all before we go: there's a fear of being judged, but there was a conversation we had in the radio school, Rob. I don't know if you remember that we made a promise not to slander a person from an interview, because you can take an interview and you could chop that interview up, and I can make you sound like the worst person in the world just based off of the stuff you said, right?
Right.
And so I took that to heart when I in that course, because today I feel like, or I see it as, that's worse than being judged, because I'm opening up to you my life experiences and intimate stuff about me.
Yeah.
And then you know how people do.
Yeah.
They use that against you later
There
on.
There it is.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's like, but how could you? So to me, I see.
Oh man.
I see judgment as one.
Yeah.
But then what's after that?
Right.
Is like slander, where you use my
that's the part where I was kind of reflecting, like, that's where it makes it hard to open up to people, or when I mentioned about the amount of time, you know, again, going back to that point, right? If I just had a moment with you, I can judge you based on that. But if there's some, a duration or a period of time, and then there's been some things, whether positive or negative, that have affected me or affected the relationship or whatever, right? Now I'm passing judgment on those things, or judgment's being passed on you based on those things, right? And you may not feel good about what judgment is being passed on you, right? Because that's where the friction comes in. That is where the judgment that's being passed on you is something you don't agree on, because that's not from your point of view what went on, right? So it's a crazy thing.
Tough. Yeah, it's tough, right?
It's a tug of war.
So I taught that, because that's, if you discover where that's coming from, then I'm not gonna be mad. I'm not gonna judge you, because like where I'm at today, as much as stuff I've been through, like I can only imagine what the next person's going through.
Right.
And that gives me an opportunity to have a level of compassion. I see you, as a brother, not as a competitor or enemy. But you have to be able to do that self-work to figure out where your junk is coming from, because I might still be reflecting myself on you. Based off of what, though? Because I saw my dad do this one time, and I'm disappointed in him. So now that's my view of men. Like, my dad represents men, and my mom represents women. So then I take that away as a 5, 6, 7-year-old, 12-year-old, and now I'm looking at life like that.
All the way.
But you want to be friends. But we want to be cool and hang out. But then, but if my dad could do that to me, well, Rob could do the same thing or worse. But we don't say that out loud. And you carry that through your life. You kind of carry that through your life silently, and those are things that you're reflecting on right now. So that's why I played Keith Sweat.
So that's why
there's a right and a wrong way to love somebody.
Play panty dropping music to make a point.
I got you.
It's all about you, bro. See, that's why I like, because to be honest with you, I see what line you trying to walk, but I know you. I actually know you. So
you know of me.
Yeah, no, I know what it is. I know what it is.
Of me.
He knows of me.
Every time he tries to get away, I know how to bring him right back.
All right, so one of the things we were talking about incorporating probably in 2024 is a current event, right? So I had somebody ask me about Puff Daddy and the situations, right? And I told him I don't have no opinion about that, right? He was like, no, but what is your, if you had to give an opinion, what's your opinion? So I told him, we all knew about that dude like that. That's not a secret.
Right.
Like, that's the industry. We know that. I told him, my point is, who did that to him? Right.
Yeah, we know who did that too.
Right. So I'm saying, like, he's done what he did, but then there's a culprit behind that, right?
Andre said there could only be one lion in the jungle.
So I was like, that's my view. Like, I got no judgment. That's the industry. Whatever you're dealing with in your life, as we talked about, that appetite. So money, power, like, it's all gonna come out if you ain't dealt with it. And so I don't have anything opinion about Puffy, but I have, my thing is who's just like the R. Same thing. How did he become that kind of guy?
Right.
He wasn't born like that.
Yeah.
There's something going on in that situation. So I got nothing about you. Like I said, I'm not surprised. Y'all got an opinion about that?
Go ahead,
Man, all these alleged situations with Sean Puffy Combs Love, Doctor,
whatever.
yeah,
All of them.
take that.
Yeah.
No, I'm not gonna give a big opinion on it. I just feel like it's amazing, or it's kind of crazy that it's all coming out at one time, right? From all so many different angles, right? So no matter kind of how you reflect on what part of it, it's all of it.
Yeah.
Right? It's all of it. And we're on we're on the West Coast, so a lot of that stuff is not unfamiliar to us, you know what I mean? And some of the stuff coming out now is just kind of, like I said, crazy that it's all at once. You know what I mean? So I'll leave my
courage,
my point
the
on
courage
that.
for those to finally
right,
say something.
right. I mean, from so many different hot points, and that is what's the thing. But I know he's done a lot for some people. He's changed a lot of lives. He's helped a lot of people make a lot of money. But I think none of that matters when I guess some of the things that we're reflecting on now are.
And that's the other thing I left the families with today at church was, Satan is not gonna. If you're in church, he know you're not going. He can't get you to do the wrong thing, but he can definitely get you to do a good thing.
Yeah.
And sometimes the good thing is not the right thing. Still.
Right.
So just because you did that stuff with those families and gave away money and did all that, it doesn't excuse.
Take that.
Yeah.
It doesn't excuse the rest of that. So
Yeah.
all right. So
I have no opinion
got
on what
nothing?
everybody.
Come on.
No, well, for what everybody's already known, I have zero opinion.
I think Puffy a Niners fan.
He is not a Niners fan. Just because never mind. You trying to get me? We're not doing that. We're not doing that. We are not doing that.
we're gonna play the public service announcement again by Call Me Go. But yeah, so I'm thinking about next year, man. Just incorporating some different dialogues.
Mm-hmm.
So y'all better be ready.
Okay. Yeah, you better be ready too if you want to go there.
Hey, as long as we don't break no FCC laws, I'm cool, man.
Right.
Can we go over those FCC guidelines one more
We
time?
will. We
okay,
will.
Appreciate
We will
it.
over Christmas break.
All right, cool. Bet. We need a whole 30-minute Zoom.
Over Christmas break, we will. This
Bet.
is the Farron Dozier Show on KCA Radio 106.5 FM, 1050 AM. Also streaming from the KCAARadio.com website. So if you got to get out of your vehicle, you're in a car right now, and you listen to one of those stations, and you got to get out, grab your device, type in KCAARadio.com, click listen live or watch live, because we're here in the station live. So who knows what you might catch or hear, especially see on the screen. So I'm ready.
We got a champ coming up.
In the morning time.
Woo, yeah, stay tuned for the next segment of Sports Collective TV, Media, and Radio. Shout us out, Wisconsin.
Some of us still carry the burden of battle. It threatens to drown us in our everyday lives. In battle, we had our weapons and combat gear to keep us safe, to keep us confident. But when we returned home, we were not armed with weapons and gear to cope with our own minds. I was lucky to find my combat gear, my mental weapon, and it's called Calmago. Calmago is a drug-free device that allows you to achieve calm in less than 3 minutes. In moments of anxiety, stress, anger, panic, or insomnia, not with medication, but rather by activating the parasympathetic nervous system through breathing regulation and multisensory stimulation. A recent study has shown that Calmago decreases PTSD and anxiety levels in veterans, helping those who are suffering and having a long-lasting effect. Visit Calmago.com to learn how you can get Calmago through the VA or with a special veterans discount code.
Welcome back to the Farron Dozier Show on KCAA Radio 106.5 FM, 1050 AM, the station that leaves no listener behind. We mean no listener behind.
Never.
Coming up now, the Sports Collective TV, Media, Radio segment. Yeah, put your shoulder pads on and all that. We got Rob.
We have a special guest tonight.
Dun, dun, dun,
So I'm not going to give it all away, but this young man has, and the funny part is, he has quietly established himself as one of the best linemen in the country. Quietly. His dad didn't establish it quietly because his dad talks more mess than anybody that I know, and it is highly appreciated. I really appreciate it. But this kid, and he's a youngster too. It's like when in a day where we're having holdbacks and double holdbacks,
Ooh,
we're dealing with
when can we have that talk?
Well, we're gonna have that talk later.
Right.
But in a day that we're having that going on, we have a kid who is young for his grade level, still growing into his body, and good student, doesn't talk much, but he hurts a lot of people on the field. I appreciate his game. So let me introduce to you the 2024 Army All-American participant, Champ Wes Brooks.
Yes,
What's going on, Champ?
Yes, sir. What's going on?
Champ, it is your journey is one of my favorite journeys out there. We're going to get into the zone, and we're going to figure out how we got here. So how was Champ growing up as a youngster, as a kid?
It was great, I'm the oldest. I had my two brothers, and then it was just great. My dad was my coach for a few years, and that was nice too. It was good schools and all that, just great lifestyle.
I mean, around when did you develop like the love for football? Around what age did that happen for you?
It was a very young age. I started playing like around 3 or 4. And I think pretty much when I like fell in love with the game and like just really like loved it.
Nice. So when did you realize that I can actually be a dog out here? I'm like actually really good, and I could be like a real impact player out there in the field. Around when did you realize that you were that guy out there?
Probably like youth football. I was bigger.
Yeah.
I was probably around then. I was like, I could probably do something with this. Just keep at it.
I mean, it's crazy because I watched you go into Loyola, and Loyola used to be a powerhouse before there was a Mater Dei and a Bosco. Well, Mater Dei was always been there, but there wasn't no Bosco. But
Right.
after Poly got dealt with, Loyola took over. So you came there during what we like to call a rebuild. How much pride do you take knowing that your class is practically the class that's getting Loyola back into a conversation of being one of the elite high schools that it used to be?
It feels good. It would have been better if we started off like on a higher note.
Yeah.
Off on a higher note, winning a championship my last year. But it feels good to be a part of that rebuild and like to help other recruits see that Loyola is a good school and make them want to come here and make them want to make the school better and get better themselves at the school. So it's been a great experience.
4 years went by really fast, did it?
Yeah, really.
If you could just look back, I mean, because it really, like you were really a freshman 4 years ago, and now you're on your way to Arizona State. What was the best memories that you had being on that campus up in Loyola?
It would probably be like the camp weeks for sure.
Yeah.
Those were fun. Like just getting to know the guys, like spending time with them and like, building that bond. It was a great experience.
There's a real family environment over there. All you guys are really close, and that's what I really like about Loyola. We deal with, this whole recruiting thing. We deal with the whole politics based off of measurables, based off of hype, based off of people who know people. You were involved in those politics. What was going through your mind when you're hearing all these quote unquote top players in your position that you were actually better than, but you had to keep grinding and grinding? Like, what went through like the whole process of you just trying to get better and to kind of block out that type of noise?
It was really easy. I don't really pay attention to a lot of that stuff. I mean, it did like kind of, make me feel some type of way that some of these guys were ranked higher than me. But at the end of the day, it is what it is, and you just make the best out of it and do what you can.
A couple more questions. I'll get you over to my panel. So, mission accomplished. You proved that you are that guy. Now there's colleges and coaches that are like, "Oops, we messed this one up. Hey, do you want to come and check out the campus and everybody? Who's trying to dance with you now?" But you look at them like, "Come on, man, you really fumbled this off. This one right here. Like, you're Arizona State committed, but now all these other places want you because you are a certified All-American. Like, who was trying to like dance with Champ at this point right now?"
I mean, I think the biggest school that really was like, oh, we dropped the ball with this one was probably like, I don't know, maybe Cal, and it's just like my coaches got to tell me to say I'm happily committed, and I am, and like, I've found my home, and I wouldn't change that.
Yeah, I mean, and
good answer.
That was you guys are a loyal bunch. Arizona State has made it clear that they wanted you from the get-go. So you are in a really good place, to call home. So, yeah, man, your last football game is going to be in January. Have you thought about, like, the level of competition that you're about to go up against, quote-unquote, against, like, everybody's, quote-unquote, the best of their positions? Have you thought about that yet, or are you just kind of, like, just trying to get through the holidays first?
I mean, I have thought about it a little bit, but at the same time, it's like I'm one of the best, so it'll be good to go up against the best, so I'm not worried or anything, so I'm ready for whatever.
Yeah, man. It's been a beautiful journey. It's like everything that a coach, a school, an organization wants out of a lineman, you are that. You can play both sides.
Right.
You're mean both sides. I saw you slam those kids, man.
Right.
So let's talk about that one real quick, and I'm going to get you over to my boy, Coach Will. That power slam. The last time I saw somebody get power slam like that, it was Justin Flo, like slamming somebody. What was going through your head when you that kid was small too, man? What was going through your head when you just basically just said Justice powerbomb that boy?
I wasn't really thinking about it. Like, when I grabbed him, it was in a position where I was just like, let me try it.
Let me try it.
Right. That's why you want him, because it's just like that. And it worked out and it went viral, man. So,
right.
Man, I appreciate you being in the zone with Robert Lamar. I'm gonna turn you over to my boy, Coach Will.
Man, he said, "Let me try it."
He said, "Just let me try it."
Coach, let me take a break. Let me take this break first. This is the Farron Dozier Show on KCA Radio 106.5 FM,
yes,
1050 AM. You was just in the zone with Robert Lamar. Coming up next, the Heme Factor and Fourth Down right here on KCA Radio. This is Comigo.
Some of us still carry the burden of battle. It threatens to drown us in our everyday lives. In battle, we had our weapons and combat gear to keep us safe, to keep us confident. But when we returned home, we were not armed with weapons and gear to cope with our own minds. I was lucky to find my combat gear, my mental weapon, and it's called Comigo. Comigo is a drug-free device that allows you to achieve calm in less than 3 minutes. In moments of anxiety, stress, anger, panic, or insomnia, not with medication, but rather by activating the parasympathetic nervous system through breathing regulation and multisensory stimulation. A recent study has shown that Comigo decreases PTSD and anxiety levels in veterans, helping those who are suffering and having a long-lasting effect. Visit Comigo.com to learn how you can get Comigo through the VA or with a special veterans discount code.
All right, welcome back to welcome back to the Farron Dozier Show on KCA Radio.
Yo.
What happened?
What happened?
That was
All right. So, yes, KC Radio 106.5 FM, 1050 AM, streaming from the KCAARadar.com website. So if you got to get out of your car out here in the IE, you're listening, go to your device, type in KCAARadar.com and listen to us by clicking listen live or watch live right here on the Inland Empire. Go ahead, Coach.
Yeah, man. Good to meet you. Good to meet you, man. So I just have a couple of questions for you. You're over there at Loyola, and what are some of the things that you can tell us about and tell the people about the culture at Loyola, right? Like you talked about bringing guys, having guys look at it and wanting to be there. What are some of the things you can say about the program, and how it helped you develop over the over 4 years, Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, well, it was a great school. Like, it's really tough when it comes to academics. Like, but it's one of the most prestigious schools for a reason, and like, it's helped me, like, not only become better academically, but like better as a man as well and an athlete.
Yeah.
Like in those aspects, like the coaches are great up there, the teachers, the whole environment. I like it. I love it, and they really help you where you need help and like get you to places you want to be. Like everywhere we go, we see a Loyola sticker on the back of a car.
Right.
Somewhere, like it's crazy how many like people or alumni there are, and like the sources you have out there.
Right. And then I know EJ, right? I know EJ really well, and Jake. Those guys play for me over at Dream Life on my 7-on-7 team in the off season, and you were a senior as well. So what are some things that as seniors, like what were some of the goals that you guys were able to achieve this year? Obviously the ultimate goal was to win a state championship, right? And what were some of the goals that you guys were able to achieve as a senior team this year?
Now I was always thinking about CIF championship, but before that, the whole team as a whole was thinking of league championship.
Yeah.
So that's our biggest thing, especially when we came out the gate, losing close games. It looked like we weren't going to be able to do it.
Right.
But we just kept playing. We kept our heads up and we won our 4th straight league championship.
Right. You guys got that big win against who was that team you played last?
Cathedral?
Was it? Yeah, I think it was the Cathedral game. And that was like one of those games that helped you guys, you know what I mean? Later, like at that point of the season, get over the hump. So, man, good luck. ASU is a great environment. I was just there, not last weekend, but 2 weeks ago. Great environment, great coaching staff, and I wish you well. I definitely would keep my eyes peeled.
Thank you.
Hey, Champ, how you doing, man?
Good, how are you?
I'm good, man. This is Farron Dozier with 4th Down. Rob kind of touched on that video. In my 4th Down segment, what was going through your mind on that play initially?
Just like nothing, like really, like I didn't plan it or anything.
Right.
As soon as I got to him, it was just let me try, let me see what I could do, and that just happened. And it gave us momentum that we really needed at that point. So I was like, hey, it works.
Yeah.
You mentioned about your pops coach you kind of initially. So give me some background about your pops and your relationship, some love for pops.
He's always been there for me during like just everything. Especially like football. He wasn't always my coach, but like when I was younger, he would help me like right before my games. He would give me speeches, like little pep talks, big pep talks. He would help me out with drills, just sharpen my game and like just, keep me in like, but yeah, it was just, he knew how to separate being a coach and being a dad. And that was really important to have both of them in my life. So yeah, it was just great for them.
And in this mental toughness kind of conversation we're going to have right now, who would you equate that mental toughness being developed from? Would you say your pops, your coaches, your moms? Who would you say?
Probably my pops and my mom's. She also gave like speeches, like it was both of them, like just giving me like advice and you know, helping me like gain that mental toughness that I needed on the field. Just telling me before games to go kill somebody and just in there and cheering in the stands when I did kill somebody. So yeah,
That's right. That's right.
And if you had to say this to some younger athletes, what piece of advice would you give them as far as that mental toughness and developing it? What would you say to them?
Always keep working at it. Like even when it seems like like recruiting's going slow, or like even before you have to worry about recruiting, like you're not starting, like just keep going at it. You'll get there. Like if you put in the work, you'll get there for sure.
Definitely.
You mentioned looking ahead, as Coach Will's question, kind of looking ahead into the future games. How do you manage your nerves, your emotions around those future games, those big games?
I'm gonna be honest. I don't really get nervous anymore.
Yeah.
Like I haven't played in a college game, so I can't speak on that. But as of right now, I think all my nerves are gone. Like I'm ready, but like it's just having that one nervous game, messing up bad, and then just going out there, fixing that mistake. You feel like you're on top of the world. You can't mess up no more.
Yeah.
It's just like
Yeah.
being strong.
And with your parents, I'm sure they're proud of you. Like you said, they gave you a lot of pep talk, help build that mental toughness. How does that mindset help you in your performance on the field and off the field?
It helps a lot to know that they're always there, like they're always watching, and it like gives me a lot of motivation, and it helps a lot. Like,
Right.
And I can imagine being an All-American and having teammates, and a lot of debates can happen, and frustrations. Like, how do you handle those with your teammates, like to become more cohesive than versus going at each other's throats?
you just gotta be humble. Like bragging about it is not cool. Like, I don't really like to speak on my accomplishments like that. Like, sure, I'll post about it if it's like really big, but other than that, I kind of like keep to myself. I don't like to make others uncomfortable, so I just kind of like, in order to keep that peace, I just stay humble about it.
I love that answer. I love that answer, man. That's
Yeah,
big.
no doubt.
We got some sharp ones coming on this panel. Huh?
I love that answer, man. That was amazing. Like
Yeah.
truthful, because that's what and that's the maturity. That's
Yeah.
the level of maturity, and this is honestly the other reasons why you see him achieving these accolades. Like, look how well prepared he is, and how much he's ready to receive those blessings, man. Congratulations and good luck, man. Definitely.
Yeah, no doubt. I served in the military, man. 24 years. I had a chasing hoop dreams before I joined the military, but one thing I discovered, for myself is, as a child, I looked out in life, and life was fun, exciting, and dangerous, right? And I in my older age, I had to figure out, how did I behave when danger showed up in my life, right? So for you, when you look out in life, how do you experience life in those kind of categories?
You just gotta stay calm, like not overreact. Like, especially at things that aren't that big. Like, it's not the end of the world. You get through it. It happens. It's life. But like, I stay calm and I'm not worried about it.
No doubt, man. I appreciate you, man, for talking to me on this fourth down. And my last question to you is, when you hear the term fourth down, where does your mind go with that fourth down?
As of today, I was watching Red Zone, and there was a lot of teams going for it on fourth down, like in the first quarter. So like, I'm thinking like, just right now, just go for it. Like, just do it. Just take that risk.
Man, I appreciate your answers and being open and sharing with us, man. We excited for you, for your future, man.
Man,
This is big, man.
this is humongous.
Yeah.
Because this is the product of when you're dealing with a player who worries about himself and wants to get better. Not a knucklehead, But he really, I've never heard anything bad about him.
Yeah.
We hear a lot about these kids, Coach. A lot. That we can't say everything that we hear about these kids because we got to protect them.
Right.
We ain't got to protect you, champ. You've been protected. You've been molded. You are a product of that household.
Yeah.
That Westbrook household ain't no joke. And that's why you're going to be successful. And we're going to be here every bit of it to watch you do your thing. Where can we find you on social media, young man?
Lil West BZ on Instagram and champ_Westbrooks on Twitter.
Cool, man.
We are going to talk to your dad too.
Yeah.
Now this is going to be it's going to be a little less humbling, but we gonna get the whole uncut and there's some battles that go on for the you know how the battles go that you can't fight that us parents fight.
Yeah.
We about to hear about 'em.
So let's take this public service announcement. This is Calm and Go. Again, it's a device helps you control your breathing. And breathing is very important. I catch myself sometimes not even really taking breaths. And I don't know where that's coming from or why that is. Could be military wise, but for those of you who have veterans in your family, some of us veterans, we don't like drugs, medication. I did my best to stay away from it because it made me feel like a zombie.
Yeah.
But there are things out there that we can use, and so Calm and Go is our sponsor. And yes, it's about panic attacks and stress, breathing techniques, but that's a human being flaw. That's not just veterans. That's a human being flaw. So this may help out you as a veteran or your family member. So just make sure you listen. And if you can share this with a veteran or a family member, check it out, calmandgo.com.
Some of us still carry the burden of battle. It threatens to drown us in our everyday lives. In battle, we had our weapons and combat gear to keep us safe, to keep us confident. But when we returned home, we were not armed with weapons and gear to cope with our own minds. I was lucky to find my combat gear, my mental weapon, and it's called Calmago. Calmago is a drug-free device that allows you to achieve calm in less than 3 minutes in moments of anxiety, stress, anger, panic, or insomnia, not with medication, but rather by activating the parasympathetic nervous system through breathing regulation and multisensory stimulation. A recent study has shown that Calmago decreases PTSD and anxiety levels in veterans, helping those who are suffering and having a long-lasting effect. Visit calmago.com to learn how you can get Calmago through the VA or with a special veterans discount code.
All right, welcome back to the Farron Dozier Show on KCA Radio, Sports Collective TV, Media Radio. Hopefully you caught the first half of this episode with Champ just coming off the line. And so if you want to rewatch it, make sure you go to Sports Collective Media. It'll be there in the bio section so you can re-listen from the beginning. All right?
Now, let me tell you why I love this guy so much. And he reminds me of my brother.
Okay.
At any time, given time, somebody can get punched in their mouth.
What?
Any given time.
Nah, not like that.
Nah, he is the best because he did his journey the way that he wanted to do. And there's a lot of superstars that go to these bigger schools and they kind of try to disregard it. Yeah, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Little old Lola.
Yeah. Nah.
Well, his son has surpassed some of the people who disregarded him. So he's been on social media basically having a champ parade, talk about how proud he is of his son. And I've been loving every bit of it because he has done everything that you should do as a father, correctly. Yeah. Now he gets to talk his mess and continue to help out other people.
Celebrate.
Mr. Westbrooks, can you hear me, sir?
How you doing?
Man,
cool.
You are, like I said, you are my favorite online. Entertainment value is at 100. At 100. I mean, there's a few of y'all online that's funny, but man, you're so funny. But I love the passion because it's one of those things where, I got a coach right here. I try to help out kids as much as possible. My boy tries to help out kids as much as possible. And there's so many volunteer hours that go into that, non-paid hours, money out of your own pocket.
Of course.
Yeah.
But it's different when it is your son that succeeds. As a father, tell me how proud you are that your blueprint has worked.
On top of the world.
Yeah.
Words can't express. There's nothing I can say that vocalize properly how I feel about this. Like, it's just it's a dream come true. You know, from birth, from the moment they said, "Hey, it's a boy." I said, "Oh, I got a plan for this."
Yeah.
We'll make this one happen. I got a plan. And that was just the first one. We're blessed with 3 boys, 3 healthy, athletic boys. So we got 2 more that we got to put through the rigors of all this, hoopla. We're trying to get a scholarship and this and that. But the moment they said it was a boy, I said, I got a plan for this one. And he came out, he looked just like me. He's like you see, he's totally different. We're polar opposites with the personalities. Like, he's quiet, more of an introvert type guy. I'm an extrovert. I got friends. He got friends, but I'm out and I'm speaking. I can speak to him and have a conversation with him for 15 minutes. Like, that's just me. I'm an outgoing person. Yeah. But he picked it all up. He got he got the good stuff.
He got it all. And
all the bull I got for him. I got that
and look, man, it's high school football, like the whole youth football, high school football, it's a lot of weird stuff, bro.
Plenty.
It's so many weirdos out there that really think they're somebody, and they're really not. But you know a few people that can kind of keep your reputation going, and I guess that works for them. But the thing, like I cannot say it enough. Certain people command respect. Not demand, command it, because it's like I don't have to. Sleepy Joe?
Hey,
Sleepy Joe.
What's on the screen?
What we got over here on the screen?
What is that?
How many minutes we got? Huh?
5?
5? Okay,
no,
we're
time.
cool. All right, yeah, sorry. Our guy was eating a hoagie and sleep, whatever. But no, but it's just like, we're in an industry where there's a lot of pretenders, there's a lot of fakes, and there's a lot of people who are trying, and there's actually the people that are actually helping people.
Yeah.
Your tree doesn't just extend outside of Champ. It's Lockhart's, it's everybody, it's other people. So moving forward, you created a game plan for not only your son but Loyola. What do you want to see out of Loyola moving forward? Because you have a pretty big title over there, don't you? Like in regards to like with the kids, like what is your vision for Loyola?
So I'm the recruiting coordinator. I act as the recruiting coordinator for Loyola. Like, that was a spot that was missing. The head coach was kind of doing everything.
Yeah.
Like, and I had a conversation with him like, hey, who's doing this? Who's reaching out to these coaches? Who's setting up camps for these kids and blah, blah, blah. And he was like, I do it all. And so I said, hey, you need a hand? Like, I got you. I can do it because at work, when I'm working, I'm working. When I'm not, I'm doing a whole lot. So I got some time where I could get on Twitter and go get in these coaches' inboxes. I could email these guys and all those things. So he was like, yeah, come on, you can come do it. And I told him I do it pro bono. Like, I do it just out of I'm a guy who want to do this for the love. Like, I work and I make good money. My wife make good money. Like, I don't need money from families that's struggling out here to help them try to get to college when it's information that was given to me and I learned from somebody or I picked up by just paying attention. Right. So it's not like I had to go pay all this money to go get all this knowledge. I just acquired it from paying attention to what's going on. You pay attention, you learn a lot. Right. So why not go give it back to these other families? It's single mothers out here that don't know nothing about football.
Right.
Nothing about recruiting, not the first thing about what they should be doing, but they're trying to get their kids out here. And then you got these used car salesmen, these trying to sell a 1996 hatchback Honda.
It's low miles though. It's got low miles.
No, that's true. It got high miles.
They roll back the con artists on top of that. So they can roll back the miles and all that. So they trying to sell this to them like, look, I can get you in this. It'll make it in Texas for you. You ain't gonna make it. That's what they do.
Yeah.
So if I could help, if I could just talk, and it's parents with money. Like, we had Loyola. It's parents with money that come to me and like, hey, what should I be doing? And I tell them, look, go to this camp, talk to this person. You should be on Twitter, real active. Like, that's the biggest avenue that people don't know. All this other social media is bull when it comes to recruiting. But Twitter, coaches that's like a business. It's like I forgot the name. What's the name of that what's it? LinkedIn. It's like a LinkedIn.
I was about to say it's like LinkedIn and Twitter.
So you can go on and you can hit one of these coaches and you might think like, I don't got a shot talking to this guy. He might respond even on just on the threads or inbox. They respond to those. They're not gonna respond to no. It's 10,000 kids trying to email them every day.
Right.
Yeah.
But they're on their phone on
Way.
Twitter because they're looking for the next hot thing.
Yeah.
So you might strike the iron while it's hot and just get in there and strike gold and talk to one of them. So
Definitely.
I tell people that's the biggest avenue. Get on Twitter and go talk to these coaches and stuff. But I give a lot of gems. Like I got a few guys that I've dealt with, John Jernigan, and he's giving me some gems. I've been to a couple of camps and clinics and stuff to where I've learned myself. So what I picked up, I just try to give to these parents and tell them, look, this is what you should be doing. I don't need to charge you to tell you this for free. And you're enough money yourself going to these camps and stuff. You got some people that be like, I'm not paying for a camp, but it's like a kid will never get out because you don't know who you're gonna see at these camps. The head coach Champ got his scholarship offer from a Redlands camp. Like we've been to all these camps. People don't even know Champ was going to commit to Nevada. Like he had people yanking on him and talking to him, but nobody would really commit and pull that offer. They were just talking to him, and I didn't like it. So we were trying to find a home, and we saw which way this was going with the portal, because all of those kids that are in the portal, those parents and kids that are in the portal, are the kids when I was coaching youth football who were a problem in it. If they couldn't get number 2, they out of there. Yo, concession stand don't get hot Cheetos. I'm taking my son out. Like any little reason they were getting up out of there, and I saw the writing on the wall. Like this is what's going to be in the future. Look where we are now. Like this was 2011, 2012 when this happened, and now look where we are. The portal's here, and they just snatching their kids and going. I won't mind. I'm not in the microwave instant gratification mode. I'm put it in the slow cooker and let it cook, and we'll do what it do. As long as we season it right and we do what we're supposed to do, it's gonna come out tasting good. They got this microwave popcorn. It ain't what it is. Like it's crazy out here. And if you really pay attention, you see, because it's a lot of snakes out here that's praying these parents. And they act like they smiling in your face and want the best for you, but all they out for is their pockets. If they pockets ain't fat, they not happy. Like I want to do this just off the love of seeing another kid. My gratifying moment is when I see that kid sign that letter of intent.
Absolutely.
I say that all the time. I tell the kids all the time, that's my paycheck. My check is when I see you know what I mean? When I see you sign that letter.
I'm saving a kid that he won't be robbing me or my wife or your daughter or this because he got his head on straight and he want to go be great. Like we go out here and we keep perpetuating the bull of what we survive. Like I'm from Watts, I'm from the east side. My son could never go to any school over there. I'm sorry, I love it. It's great. It made me who I am. But I got the best of both worlds. I can code switch. I can go to football practice and shoot the crap with fellas, and then I can go to lacrosse practice and talk about Yellowstone stocks and all this stuff. And I'm right in there. Right. So I've just raised these boys off of that with my wife. Without her, it wouldn't be nothing. Like I got to give her major pat on her back, because she's the one who, while I'm keeping them up and holding them up, she's doing it for me behind closed doors, out in the open as well. She's doing that. So we've just been a team. I've attacked with all the sports. She's attacked with all the schools. And that's how Champ is a public school kid. Yeah. He never went private until he went to Loyola. Wow. But then he went to Loyola and it prepped him for the world, to where we've had meetings with people and they like, I went to Vanderbilt. And when I got to Vanderbilt, it was a breeze. Like, and we're like, Vanderbilt, that's like the Ivy Leagues of the SEC.
Yeah. So I got one question for you, because we got 2 minutes before we got to get you off. What is the craziest thing that you have been offered in your position? So
I'm not gonna say no names or anything, but I've been offered $15,000 to bring him to a school, and that's I swear to God on my pops, rest in peace. I can't make this up. On a phone call, I should have recorded it, but it was on a phone call. I've been offered $15,000. I've had another guy reach out to me. His son is a quarterback. You know, those quarterback dads always got a little bag. Yeah. So he reached out to me and wanted to get us to come to another school, but we thought about it but we thought about the benefit of Loyola, because we went to Loyola not for any athletic accolades or anything. We went for the academics and for the next period, that point blank. Because like Champ mentioned on here, you go out and anywhere you go, you'll see that Loyola Cubs sticker. And somebody will be like, go Cubs, and you'll be looking like, I'm a Dodger fan. What are you talking about? Oh, Loyola, go Cubs. They come to dinner with us, and you don't know these dudes can of paint, but they love you because you're in that fraternity.
Yeah.
Man, look, we appreciate you coming on the paddle, because look, I have the utmost respect for you. I don't respect every parent, and I can say that. I don't care. But for you, I have the utmost, because you did it the way that is supposed to be done.
You set the tone for the future parents coming on the show, man. Just so you know that you set the tone for that. So.
Hey, it ain't nothing like getting the East Side on the show, man.
Exactly.
If you want it, man.
Exactly.
We a little rough around the edges, but we soft.
You good? We caught the word, so we blocked it out. Don't worry about it.
Okay, we good.
We did not catch it, bro.
No,
but it's okay.
We did not catch it.
It's caught.
No, but it's all good, man. I appreciate appreciate you for facilitating CHAP and yourself, man. This has been a dope experience for all of us. So we appreciate you, brother, man. Thank you for coming on.
Truthfully.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. We appreciate you, and thank you guys. Have a good night.
Yes,
Cool,
sir.
cool. All right.
Salute.
This is In the Zone, Heme Factor, 4th Down, the Farron Dozier Show, Sports Selective TV, Media, Radio. Hit us up on Twitter at What's the Count and Instagram at Sports Selective Media. Next week, we'll be back. We'll be back.
Some of us still carry the burden of battle. It threatens to drown us in our everyday lives. In battle, we had our weapons and combat gear to keep us safe, to keep us confident. But when we returned home, we were not armed with weapons and gear to cope with our own minds. I was lucky to find my combat gear, my mental weapon, and it's called Calmago. Calmago is a drug-free device that allows you to achieve calm in less than 3 minutes. In moments of anxiety, stress, anger, panic, or insomnia, not with medication, but rather by activating the parasympathetic nervous system through breathing regulation and multisensory stimulation. A recent study has shown that Calmago decreases PTSD and anxiety levels in veterans, helping those who are suffering and having a long-lasting effect. Visit Calmago.com to learn how you can get Calmago through the VA or with a special veterans discount code.
KC